filming, people come up. Hi guys, I'm here at this lookout. Don't ask me the name of it, but it's in Los Angeles and it's super fucking cool. And there's a asshole on a motorcycle. Maybe that's mean, but why do you have to have a motorcycle? Can you just not? Anyway, today I want to talk about delusions of grandeur and how to have balance with delusions when you are a creative person, because it is really important to keep your feet on the ground. When I first started, I was very, very delusional until very recently. I remember my first time performing at Comedy Mothership. Adam Egat, who's the booker there, booked me. And I came running out to the open micers and I was like, Adam Egat booked me. And it was a few ugly guys and they were like, oh, it's just because of your face. And I said, fuck you ugly virgins, I'm a star. Middle-aged men are the vein of my existence, but also 92% of my following, so it's fine. Anyway, the delusion protected me. It gave me confidence when I had none. And over the past year, I have made significantly more money by breaking through those blocks in my mind. Delusion does work in some sense. That being said, delusions of grandeur, thinking oh, I'm gonna make it one day. No, you're not. Because one thing I've really realized is that no matter how far you get in life, everything feels beautiful, great, but there's a little bit of hell intertwined into everyone's heaven. And that's what I've learned. I hate when I do have a bit of a dark perspective, but I am a very happy girl. A lot of times when I post my perspective, whether it be comedically, I'm making a dark joke about myself, or it be a perspective like that, I always get DMs from men you don't have to struggle alone, I'm here for you. Who said I'm fucking struggling? Maybe I'm just not dumb. You know what I mean? If you are a smart person, you're aware that everything is a duality. There's good and there's bad, and in order for you to move forward with your life, with your creativity, with your relationships, you're going to have to integrate the two and stand within the middle of them. That's awareness. That's what we're doing here, especially when you're an artist. How are you going to, every joke maybe has some bit of underlying fear or sadness in it, or what's a movie that's just happy? You know what I mean? You're gonna have to integrate both sides. And in being an artist, you have to be a writer. You have to be in that grounded place. You can't let yourself get too high or too low. You have to be constantly in a state of center, which isn't very exciting, which is why maybe I think a lot of artists use drugs and alcohol, because it makes them, brings them up or down or whatever, versus just staying in the center. But you have to have this kind of mundane, melancholy view of life in order to be aware enough to reflect it in your art. And I think, so how I came to these conclusions, I, yesterday, like a big dumb idiot, took a bunch of mushrooms. A Mexican family just pulled up. I'll wrap this up quick. I took a significant amount of mushrooms yesterday. Not even a significant amount. I took 2 grams, and I will never do it again. And I'm somebody who's an experienced tripper, but oh my God. So I took 2 grams of mushrooms, and I was on the beach, and I felt it kind of kicking in, and And I was like, oh, this isn't gonna be a good one. I just knew. So I started walking towards the water, and everything got more and more foggy. And I was like, all right, Isabella, don't go swimming like this. So I turned around and started walking past, like, to my blanket. And I was like, I can't make it to my blanket. I just need to lay down in the sand. So I laid down in the sand. I fell asleep. And then I had this wicked, crazy dream where it was like God and the devil. It was insane. It was the most insane trip I've ever had. It was like God and the devil, and they had a contract. And the devil was like, can I just have some of her? And then he signed off on something, and I woke up. And when I woke up, I was still tripping. And I was like, no, I'm still in this hell. But even though it looked beautiful, it's Venice Beach, the sun was setting, it was so beautiful, but it felt like hell because I was on drugs and I shouldn't have done that. But it also felt like hell, I think, because being at your dream place at the pinnacle of beauty kind of shows you that there is a little bit of hell in everything. There is always going to be a little bit of bad news, and that's okay, because that's what makes you a human. And you know, I think it has to be okay with where you are in order to create anything, whether it be your the life you want, or a creative project. Everything has to kind of be okay, no matter how bad your awareness hurts. And I think that's what frustrates me so much when I am creating and I'm making dark jokes or giving a dark perspective. And it's not even dark, but that's what bothers me so much, is when I get DMs from men like, are you okay? And it's like, do you not have eyes? Are you not awake and aware? Like, I mean, we're all okay, but none of us are okay, and that's okay. Let me make art out of it. Shut up, you know? I think I'm gonna do a video on Justin Bieber's new album, so